Right. All right. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay. Last me hearties, and welcome once again to Full Stream Ahead. I be your Captain Charlie, the Professor Esser. And with me, as always, is me first mate and skinny rich friend.
It's Mozz.
Welcome. So glad you're here. So glad to have you back in a world, in a galaxy far, far away. A galaxy of capes and lunatics, of gods and monsters. There is a galactic empire that needs people to fight against it. One such man may be Cassian Andor, or maybe not. Andor, Season 1, Episode 6, The Eye, with the cover of a spectacular local festival. The Altani mission reaches a point of no return. Our director this week is Susanna White. Writers this week, let's see here. We got a written by credit for good old Dan Gilroy. Tony Gilroy, I wonder if they're related, gets the created by credit. George Lucas, well, he just says this is all based on Star Wars. And that's what we got. Our team. Mozz, this was a good episode. This was, I was, I love a good heist. And this was a good heist. This was a good heist. And this wasn't the kind of good heist where it's like, oh no, it was all misdirect and this was all the plan all along. No, this is a heist that goes to plan, but still goes a little wrong. And really, I think we spend the whole episode here on Eldana. I don't think we really get off to check on any of the other folks, do we?
Yeah, I think we get a little bit of Luthen and Mon Mothma in this one.
We do get a little okay. I barely remember them. If you remember them, you can
Yeah,
tell me what they did.
there wasn't very much. It was more of just like, moving stuff along. Nothing revelatory, nothing terribly interesting.
Yeah, I remember at the very end we get Luthen
Right.
when he hears about the big heist, which is what this is. This is a big, big heist, and
Isn't he sort of like intermittently waiting for news about it and is really stressed about it? And the secretary has to keep calming him down. There was like little tidbits, but I don't know if it was
yeah,
very significant. Most of it was spent on them sneaking away
yeah.
with. Did they not realize how much money was going to be in there? It's like they went there,
Well,
they brought like their little satchels and pocketbooks to sneak away. It's like, did you not understand what you were
no, no,
getting?
no, no. They knew that's why they knew they were taking the ship. They just knew they had to do a lot of moving really quickly, and it was and they basically, I really feel they had always intended to impress the crew
Hmm.
into it. That was always part of the deal, that we're going
But
to
yeah,
have to
yeah,
hold these guys at gunpoint and make them do the work,
yeah.
because that's a lot of money, and not for nothing. Say what you will for paper money, it moves easy. Um, Imperial credits. This is like coins, and I don't know, man. Part of me wonders, like, are those coins even really necessary? I guess maybe it's like just. I guess maybe the entire argument is it's just all anti-counterfeit
Right.
protections. That basically it's like it's arguably still just paper, but that it would be almost impossible to replicate because of all of the heaviness and the weight and the electronics in it. Because I have to assume there's some sort of like data in there somewhere. I don't know, but it just
Oh, I wonder if there's certain things in this universe you're like, okay, they went down a different evolutionary path and they solved this particular problem in a different way. So they
eh,
never encountered this invention that we take for granted every day. So maybe they happened upon digital currency, and they found it to be flawed inherently somehow, and they said, no, 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 it's too easy to hack, It's too easy to steal. It's too easy to scam. We're gonna do away with it. Physical stuff you can touch, that's gonna be currency. Or
Yeah.
they never happened upon that invention at all.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that it does seem that they do have some kind of digital currency, because we never see, bounty hunters carrying around these big rolls of money,
Yeah.
So it does seem like there is some kind
Have,
of,
like, credit cards, or does it just work on reputation? Ah, I'll get you next Friday.
I don't know. I see that, but that's the thing. That's the question, because there does seem to be an electronic form of currency that they do trade that are called credits.
Hmm.
And then there are these imperial credits that we do see people throw down.
Yeah.
So like there's many times people will throw down pieces of chips that are imperial credits. And I guess maybe it's like Bitcoin, where you can have your Bitcoin on a drive,
Right.
and that is your Bitcoin, or you can have your Bitcoin just in the ether, and you can transfer it that way. And I'm guessing that's how the imperial credit system works. Is that what? Oh, you're talking about? Okay. Um, uh, I think the cell might have gone bad. Yeah. So you don't see it in there. It's probably because it had to be removed.
But I mean, it's like,
Yes.
yeah, the plan doesn't go off without a hitch, but what plan does? And that's exactly what Cassian was trying to tell everybody before. It's like, listen, you bunch of children, have you never done this before? Calm down.
Yeah. Well, exactly, and that's the thing. And actually, I do like the opening with oh, our sweet little pumpkin baby, and he's just our poet who we
Oh,
love.
Nemec, I think is.
Nemec, something like that. Yeah, he is. He's all jazzed up on the heist, man, and and Cassian is really trying to calm him down. And I really feel it's interesting to me
Hmm.
as the story progresses how that one character became the mascot of the group, and a very important mascot though, because we see he has a job and he is freaking good at his job. Because he's actually the navigator, and I do appreciate that. I do love that, and I do like when we go into this. I also found it very interesting because this is where we get the reveal that the one guy, the big, not the imperial major, but the one guy in the rebel factions is actually a former stormtrooper.
Mm,
And I
right.
thought, oh wow, that is cool. That is very interesting. They've done that a lot. Oh, okay. Tristan says they do that a lot. That ex stormtroopers wind up in the rebellion all the time,
Yeah,
which makes
as long as
sense.
you can get them to take their helmet off, their aim improves like 1,000-fold.
you know, and I'm gonna say this once again about the poor stormtroopers. When they're shooting, the only time you actually see them missing is when they're shooting at Luke and Leia, like the two most powerful force users in the galaxy. And it just that for whom the force is just no, that's just nature, and this
Mhm.
lasers never hit us. I don't know why. It's like as far as and like when Luke is like, yeah, I bullseye womp rats, and they're not more than a meter. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? Do you know how far away that is in a meter? And that's a hard shot to make.
Hmm.
But he's like, no, man, you just like you feel it, and it's just like, boo. Well, no, I don't know if he killed animals for fun, but womp rats. You got to keep the womp rat population under control. Let's just be clear. And also, they're good eating. So I'm assuming. I don't know. I've never eaten womp rat.
Sounds terrible.
What?
It sounds terrible.
It sounds terrible, but just because it sounds and that's sort of one of those things. Every so often they'll rebrand like a fish from like Oh no, that's Chilean sea bass. That's not toothfish. Um, which is like what Chilean sea bass used to be called. And then someone said, no. I was like, oh, we got too many of these dang toothfishes. Well, where do we catch them? Well, off the coast of Chile. So let's call them Chilean sea bass. And so, ooh, Chilean sea bass. That sounds delicious. So like real Tatooine water rodents or water leapers. Right. There you go. Don't call them a womp rat. Call it a Tatooine water leaper. And ooh, delightful.
An aquatic marmot.
Yes, exactly. Well, because they find the water. That's what they do. Oh, aquatic marmot. Tatooine marmot. There we go. Delicious. Because we do see those things do get eaten a lot. Because you see it, and what's weird is that we see them also laughing and like kept as pets, but also eaten. And it's like, you wonder like how sentient are they, and is it really is there a line we're crossing here eating these creatures?
People say guinea pigs are delicious and they keep those as pets.
Yeah, but guinea pigs, you never wonder about the inner life of a guinea pig.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, I guess maybe some people do. And in fact, I guess arguably the Wonder Pets is all about the inner life of guinea pigs and other such animals, duckies and what was it? Was it the other one a frog in the Wonder Pets? I forget. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah, I do like I like we do get to see the natives coming up,
Yeah, I thought it was really, really funny because like the old man who was like the head of the native clan had just such an air of arrogance and bravado about him. Like he knew something, like we're gonna prevail. Like we've been fighting these lands for thousands of years. You think you're the first empire that's shown up here trying to tell us this? We don't have to do anything. We're just gonna walk calmly, and the universe or whatever is at play will take care of you. And then, like, like normally you would look at this guy going, this poor guy, he's about to get stomped out and he doesn't even know it. Look at them snickering and sneering up from their tower going, oh, we're about to wipe these people out. It's the last time they're going to get to do their little ceremony. And just through chance or whatever, they get to watch, their strength crumble and their infrastructure crumble and them start to panic. And it's kind of a nice thing to see.
Yeah, it's another character who I think it's the first time we're meeting him is actually, I guess, the commandant of the fortress.
Of the what?
Who is the commandant?
And with the beard?
Yeah, the old guy. Yeah, the old guy. And because we also see that he's got the visitor from Coruscant, and I love the joke about, oh, my belt has been stored improperly. It seems to have contracted. Oh yeah. That's what happened, friend. That's what happened. I feel for the guy and his wife and his kid because they are all just trying to get by in this world. But at the same time, he's a space Nazi, so you can only have so much empathy for the guy, and especially with his haughtiness and his like, oh, of course, what we did was we put all the beer stands along the path up, so what starts as 1,000, as 5,000 winds up as a few hundred, and because they but then again, I'm sure that there's a lot of people for whom going to the eye, it's a great thing, and that arguably you can see the eye all over the place. You don't have to go to the valley, but and so probably there's probably a lot of secular people on Eldani who are like, yeah, it's cool, but everyone's excited for it, and we get to see the whole ritual, the whole trading of pelts. Which I found interesting because it didn't even seem like there was much about it. Because we even see the guy actually throw the pelts he gets on the fire.
Yeah. Well, maybe I thought it was like because they were their pelts. He enjoyed throwing them in the fire. That maybe it is a custom of theirs that they do. But since it's from you, I have no respect for this.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, although it does remind me of that one Batman episode where they're trying to, keep the lease from Gotham from going back to the Native Americans,
Oh,
and they
geez.
have to give the beaver pelts. It's from Batman 66, and it's basically the idea is that the top families of Gotham have to continually do this ritual where they give these beaver pelts to the last remaining native in Gotham. And he's like, my ancestors made a lousy deal,
That's
but
terrible.
but the idea is if they don't do it, then legally it all reverts back to him, and all of Gotham City goes back to the Native Americans.
Wow.
Wouldn't that have been fun if they just like made it a lease, not a sale?
Hmm.
Yeah, complex real estate transactions. Unfortunately, was not always the nature of early settler deals with Indians and Native Americans.
Right.
Sorry. Okay, moving right along. But yeah, we see them earlier training. We see them getting ready. We see them in their uniforms. We see them walking in, blending in. They make the thing. If anyone asks if you're from the garrison, you say you're from uh, the province. If you're from the province, you say you're from the garrison. Like, whatever you do, you say you're from the other place. Wherever they're from, you're from the other place. That's why they haven't seen you. You're a new transfer. And they walk in and they get there. And that is, to me, that is the most beautiful thing, is just having an inside man,
Hmm.
having a stormtrooper on your team who tells you, here is how you move. Here is how you do this. This is how you don't look out of place. Here is how you blend in. And it is beautiful in the way they blend in. And when they actually pull the heist, man, they just pull it. And, they kill the one guy, which is the guy from Coruscant. And that's good because he's like the one guy that really doesn't matter,
Right.
And they don't have to kill the kid, which is good.
Yeah.
Because if they did kill the kid, although, within it, there is that whole thought in your mind, like, would they have killed the kid? The kid who really does not want to wear the Imperial Guard.
Right.
He does, and that's understandable. Even if he has no real heavy feeling about the Empire or the Rebellion, it's like his dad is the one always doing the Empire, so I don't want to do that.
That,
Um,
what are you gonna like have some kid watch his father be murdered and then say, hey, go on, we'll see in a couple of years.
well, you know what? I'll be interested. I'll tell you this: there's lots of stories of people who joined the Empire expressly because the rebellion killed someone they loved. That the rebellion had to take lives too, and that is what makes it all a bit more complex. Hi, Tristan. What do you want to tell me? But say it loudly so the audience can hear. Okay, then tell me after the show. If it's not for the show, don't tell me during the show, because we're doing a show. That's how you know. Okay, what is important to tell me? Okay, you made 2 sandwiches. One is going to go for your friend. Good to know. Thank you for making the sandwiches. That's good. I don't have to make lunch tomorrow. I'm very happy.
What kind of sandwich are you getting?
Yes. Well, mom's going to make pan sandwiches, so we're okay. Moving right along. They get in. They start. And what happened? Did we stop?
I think it's okay.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, so they're in there and they start moving, and it is heavy work. They have they have the commandant doing the work too. You got to work, and as it turns out, he was not used to physical labor. And we do get a whole thing because, and this is what is also interesting in this is that one thing they didn't count on was people realizing that the comms were down.
Hmm.
And them realizing that, oh man, they can still get to because they left the one channel open, which is the channel to the airbase. because they had to do something with the airbase to get the permission locks undone. But as a result, that also lets them call in the what do you call it, the airstrike later, and also has them start looking for what's going on. And when they get there, they try to talk themselves out of it, but then of course the old guy has a heart attack, and that's when things go crazy.
My favorite thing is when the inside guy tries to tell the soldiers that come to investigate, like, what's going on here? He's like, you get out of here. No, this is it's a super secret mission. No, it's super duper secret. You would not.
Yeah.
It's just so hilarious to me and like, what else are you gonna do? I guess, but it's just hilarious.
Exactly. Well, yeah. There is a chance the guys go. It's like you roll your charisma. It's like, how dare you be here? This is a sealed off area. This is a highly important imperial mission to move these credits so they're not stolen. Get out of here before you tip off the rebels. And it's like, I
probably would have
rolled a nat 20, man. And so, okay, sorry, sir.
Yeah, that would have been a better way to go. We've heard of a news of an impending attack. We're trying to get this out of here. And I would have sent the dude on a fool's mission to get him out of the way, instead of saying, you have to go, you shouldn't be seeing this. I like your explanation better, and then giving him a mission saying, hey, go make sure those doors are opened. We're gonna escape that way. Go,
Yeah. Anyway, but they do get a good amount of the money loaded in, 80 million credits, they say. Which is good. But they have to, the firefight starts, they have to make a run for it. And they left the hover lift on. And no one fastened their seatbelts before they went. They just went. People went flying, and that hover lift, laden with a lot of credits, goes and hits our poor sweet potato, our poet, the very heart of the revolution, the heart of the rebellion. And he can't feel his legs, but he's alive. And man, this gets us to, we're going to get to that in a minute, because there's so much that happens in this next bit. Because Cassian, he's flying, but he doesn't know where to go. He needs some things, and that's what Sweet Potato is supposed to do. So they basically pump him full of cortisone, and cortisone and adrenaline, and just they give him a med spike and bring him over, and he does it, man. He does his job. And that is fudging impressing, where he's like, no, go up, now go down, now do this, now do that, and drives the TIE fighters right into whatever this whole meteor shower thing is. It's not really a meteor shower, but crystalline dust thing. Yeah. Basically, it's amazing. And I gotta imagine that's quite the show for the kids at home. Down on the ground, just like, look at the battle that rages before us. They think they're taking it.
Right. Our enemies are going to bite the dust.
Yeah, exactly, man. And for what it's worth, the guy from Coruscant bites the dust. The Commandant bites the dust. A bunch of TIE fighters bite the dust. There's a lot of dust biting going on here. But they do get up and they do get out. And in that moment, they have to decide, what are they going to do? Are they going to go to the rendezvous point, or do they go to the doctor that they did plan in as a contingency? And this is where the other criminal guy really, he gives me pause, because on some level, he's fighting for his friend. He's fighting for Sweet Potato. But at the other side, for what happens later, you're like, was that just his way to cause problems? Can we pause for 1 second? So just restart it. And the thing is like, the criminal guy, he's berating the leader about how she just wants him to die. She doesn't want him to go. And on one level, you can feel for that maybe sweet potato can be saved. Maybe if they go to this doctor, because for what it's worth, man, he's got a broken spine.
Yeah, even
Have
if
you
he's
seen?
there, he could be all right.
Yeah, I mean, the way they replace people with robot parts, it seemed like that's a reasonable thing,
Yeah.
Heck, how long was freaking what's her name dead in the desert before Boba Fett took her to the robot replacement guy,
Fennec.
Fennec Shand. Thank you. How long was Fennec Shand dead before? So it's like, it was like, no, yeah. He's only mostly dead.
Right. They gave
Still a little bit alive.
Bionic liver, I think, right? Or something.
Exactly, Yeah, just gotta replace those middle parts with some other parts. That solves the problem.
We'll even a nice little glass viewing case so you can see all our beautiful work.
Yeah. Although maybe he's not a modder, so that might be that they were a doctor. They just work with flesh. They don't put in the parts,
Right.
So like maybe it's like, if I was a modder, yeah, I'd have the parts for him, but I don't have the parts here. That's the problem, is I don't have the parts. Which is why you really want a modder, not a whatever. Moving right along. We go to a scene with Andor and the criminal guy outside. And I did not know how to read this scene, because he's basically like, look, you and me, we can split this take and we can go and leave them here. Because I'm only in this for the money. I was only always in this for the money. I don't have a brother, but it's 80 million. I can't fly this thing, but you can. We can split it and we can leave them. And Andor makes the choice to shoot the guy. And
win stupid prizes. I mean, part of it, if you want to make the argument that, that's the kind of person he was just testing him to see if you were, but bro, we've already done the mission. The time for testing and whatever is gone now. If you still want to play like a game of you're Ashton Kutcher and I'm on Punked, you might get shot.
Yeah, and that's a fair cop. And that's the thing. It's like, it does make me like re-question everything that we knew about the guy. And that's weird to me, because we built who he was, but then you can, and that's the thing, is like, you can go back and see, oh my gosh, it was all a lie. Everything was a lie. He was always aware of what he was doing and was just making his plans. And that is rough. And then what I think is the most interesting is the final heel turn by Andor at the end. It's not a heel turn. He just says, look, I'm not going to fly you to wherever. You can get yourself to where you're going. You have the money. I want the money I was promised. Here's the freaking trinket back. Give me my cut. I'll buy your old wreck out of the back. Let me leave, and you guys are good, and I will do what I need to do, because this was always my plan. I never said I was here for the rebellion.
Yeah, and one of y'all already tried to screw the whole thing up. I don't trust any of you anymore.
Yeah,
I'm smart enough to know that I'm gonna get mine and get out of Dodge before this thing gets any more sideways.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that was a good bet. It's hard, man. It's hard being this guy in this world. Is that in this world he is trying to do his best to Liv to deal with the whole thing. He tries to make his money, gets pulled into this thing where everyone's going to say, "Oh no, this is the greater cause." But I do think it's important that they give him the manifesto. That sweet potato lives on through his manifesto, and I wonder if that's going to be like a thing that influences him.
I think it's going to influence the rebellion in general. I think those writings are going to get mythologized. His sacrifice and his actions will get mythologized, and he will be a banner for the whole rebellion, not just a mascot for this ragtag group of freedom.
Assuming he actually could write as well as he says, you know?
But it felt like they were giving that little ledger or that little diary some importance.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Any final thoughts on tonight's episode, Mozz?
It really cool. I love how they're taking their time with it, and the spectacular show in the sky that we were promised, we actually did get. That was really quite cool and impressive to watch. Super.
You know, I'm surprised this is like the 6th episode. Like I feel like we're almost halfway, we're more than halfway through, and I didn't even realize we'd done that many already. So that's shocking. And if you were likewise shocked and you want to tell us about how shocked you were, you can write to us here at CapesandLunatics@gmail.com. That's Capes and Lunatics, all spelled out, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, call us at 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Do you want to be on the air? Well, you can leave us a voicemail message and we will play it for all the people to hear. So your opinions will be heard. You matter. And because we matter and everyone in the whole Capes and Lunatics family matters, go down to Linktree, linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics. Go there, click on our link, see all the shows that we have, buy some wonderful merch, become a Patreon, or just give us money randomly, because you know what? We like you guys, and maybe you like us, and you want us to keep this going. So, you know, every little bit helps. You know, we don't make money off of this, but we do make content, and hopefully content you love. So looking forward to hearing from you all. In the meantime, Mozz, if people just want to reach out to you individually, how can they do so?
Oh, they can email me at mozzmanzor@gmail.com or find me on Facebook under Mozz Manzor. That's MOZZMANZOOR.
And of course, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way that our mothers and fathers once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And follow me on the Twitter. Yes, it's still there, at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing.
All right, yes. Yeah, lovely landlubbers. You have come to us. You've come with us to the end of another exciting adventure on the briny main that is the internet. Come again next week as we once again sail full stream ahead. Ark.
All lunatics matter.
All lunatics matter. Okay.